Hey guys, it's me again, Orkslayer with this. Where we last left off, let's see, checking. Deku killed Zol. They went around and cleared up the Mars with Rasputin's help and aid, as well as cranking out better armor and equipment for Deku's troops and such. They've also got better frames, heavy frames. And all around, they just have a much more secure and better equipped army for the most of it. For a tiny bit of it, like his special units are the ones equipped with the better weaponry. They do still scavenge from the Cabal and such, like their heavy slug throwers, their Gauss rifles, or whatever those are. You know. And with that being said, Deku and his, well, he's taken a nice portion of his military and has moved it to Tingle Shore to go rip off the head of all the barons. Well, because now we're in Forsaken. This is gonna be fun. See, there's Pashik, the writer. Oh, there's just a bunch of names. He's going after, for the first one he's going after, he's not going after, Pivik. He's going after the headsman. Yep, you heard it. Going after the headsman. Because the spider told him about what the headsman has, and he has his servitors and large stores of ether, which he could easily take. But I don't know if it's corrupted ether. So what he does is he literally takes his military and bashes his way through, pretty much beating every single thing down. He's doing the solo. He has his troops elsewhere destroying Scorn layers and destroying the bodies completely, so that way they can't be reanimated for later. He starts crushing them, as then he sees the headsman. He comes rushing in, swinging it. Deku pretty much catches it and throws him, which I'm pretty sure Deku's much larger than him. He grabs his lower arm and tosses him all the way over. He crashes down and retreats to his inner sanctum, with Deku following him every bit of the way, crushing several of those weird headless guys. As he makes it to the final room, the headsman tries to confront him again, but is instantly dismantled by Deku. And I quite literally mean he was dismantled. Like, bit by bit torn apart. As in, the remaining, like, some Scorn try last-ditch attempt to kill him, he's pretty much crushes them all as well, and then goes about freeing the spider's servitors. In this time, I believe I said I brought, I don't know who I brought. I'll just say Mina twice. I believe I brought Toga. No. I think I may have brought Kirishima and Toga as well. Maybe. Oh. I'll say Kirishima's was, like, ordered to stay back. Because, well, in case everything goes down, Deku trusts him as his second in command. As he brings Toga along, Toga helps taking care of some of the other ones. Like, they divvy up the thing, and, well, Nana Shimura and them get the information as well. And after hearing the headsman and taken out, they cross that one off the list. And Deku hears about Nana and them being around, so he asks for a meeting with them. As they come together, he pretty much just lays it out quickly and bluntly. Look, there are certain ones we can't really go after effectively. Like, Hyrax, the Mindbender. Me and my troops tried to assault his fortress, but he fled into his ascendant realm. We can't get to him while he's in there. She's like, wait. This speaks volumes that he has an ascendant realm, period. Alright, she's truly dangerous. So, next. Who else? Let's see. Well, we've killed the writer. Alright. So, cross that one off the list. So, we got the machinist. I'll go after the sniper. You guys can go after the trickster. That'd be 4 crossed off our list. Agreed? Agreed. I'm sending several of my other team. And as Dobby had heard that they're going after the scorn, he gets a call. He's like, hey, can I come? Can I come? Have you killed the Mad Bomber yet? He's like, no, we haven't. Well, I'm doing it, me and my boys. As he starts speaking, he's like, alright. And Dobby's going after the Mad Bomber. They'll all be crossed off our list soon enough. As Deku sets off for the sniper, and then Nana and them set off for the trickster. And I'll cut to Dobby real quick. They're like, he's in here. What are we gonna do? He wishes to test our explosives. Let's show him what booms we can make. As they go in, throwing their own bombs, the Mad Bomber throws his around wildly, being very, well, mad. And then there's Dobby, whose precision is much better, but he's still, well, explosives. And the force transmitted by explosives can't be that good for someone's head. I think there's something like with a concussive force and such, that there's like a gun or a rocket that says you can't use it more than a certain amount of times for the concussive force. But I digress. When he does it, he pretty much starts using a grenade launcher and starts blasting away at Dobby. His troops end up using, and Dobby's people are using like slug rifles and such, with more of a boom to their impact. They constantly fire, and Dobby gets into like a one-on-one confrontation, as then he finally puts the Mad Bomber out of his thing, by when he activates several of the Mad Bomber's explosives, that instantly after he's thrown away, he's like, oh. As then he gets blown up, dying as he lived, in a massive pile of explosions. Then they hear the massive bomb that's going to be going off if they don't deactivate it. They rush their fallen hides down there and immediately set up a thing, and as Dobby tries to start dismantling, with 1 second on the clock, he does it. He's lost some men, but they did pretty well considering everything. And now with, well, Nana and them go about how any Guardian would kill Trickster with a shotgun, probably at very close range. I find some of the bosses annoying. A lot of the bosses are fun though. But I hate shotguns in Crucible. I hate them in the Crucible. But with Deku and them making his move now, making his way to the rifleman. Sorry, not the sniper. The rifleman. As he makes his way in slowly but surely, cracking through the Scorn efforts to try and stop him, well, little by little, he gets his way in, with the rifleman trying to use his clones and such to deceive Deku. Deku not falling for a single one and blasts them away instantly, making his way to the rifleman's inner sanctum. And slowly but surely, after the rifleman takes several good shots and actually hit him once, with Deku returning his own fire, he manages to like jump up or like climb up and grab onto the rifleman, slamming him down to the ground. With the rifleman barely unconscious, Deku takes his scorch rifle as the rifleman tries to reach his up, trying to say, wait, just blast away. That said and done, the rifleman is dead. With then Deku taking his rifle, seeing it as a trophy and the weapon that pretty much, more as it said, mortally wounded Cade 6. With Deku's, with Deku also taking, the flail that the headsmen use, taking these as his own trophies, and having them decorate his walls. Now with this, they got rid of the rider, they have to get rid of the mindbender. Alright, so the people they don't have to get rid of: the rifleman, the mad bomber, the rider, the rifleman, mad bomber, the rider, the trickster, the headsman, and I think I said, then they got to get rid of Fickrel, the machinist, and the mindbender. Alright, that's 8. Fickrel will be the last. Deku. Sorry. Sorry. Nana Shimura and them go after. Nana Shimura and such go after the Hyrax, the mindbender, saying that that's the only one she can really get to and finish off. Deku says his troops have secured the area to a nice degree, so she won't deal with as much. All she would really need to do is bust in there and kill him. For doing that, he has several Hive in there with him as she starts tearing them apart using her Sentinel shield, and eventually reaches Hyrax and finishes him off. As he dies, she sees his weapon, thinking, Deku would probably like this. Sort of like strapping it, like dragging it out of the Ascendant Realm and bringing it outside and tossing it pretty much on the ground in front of some of Deku's soldiers, saying, the cow probably would like this. They're like, thank you. As they grab it and like carry it to a ship, it's massive. It's like as big as a Vandal or one Vandal. So with Deku and his troops moving on against the machinist, with them again making their way through her compounds, and he even lands a bit closer because I'm pretty sure there's some enclosed areas he has to go through, having an all-out assault against her. She has a few turrets, I would say, trying to blast his ships out of the sky, but thanks to Deku's supreme flying and his pilots, they don't only bob and weave, but they also destroy these gun emplacements, with eventually Deku landing right in front of her in a bigger ship, since he's 14 feet tall. And there's a 2 feet difference in them. So Deku comes charging in with his Scorch Rifle, and she does the thing with her, I forget what weapon she has. I don't know. Her just trying to fight Deku. And Deku takes advantage of her weight distribution because she has all that stuff on her back. He grabs onto her back, like at one point, using his strength and pulling it back as she falls over like a turtle, like a bug, like a beetle. As she's like trying to get up with all that weight on her back, it's much more difficult. Him rushing in and cutting off her arm. She goes and grab it and tries to stop him again, but this time just gets stabbed right there and there and there, just constant back and forth. And she does the whole scorn or forever as she just dies. Deku giving the order for them to loot every single thing that she has, because she is where the Scorn get their most valuable weapons and such. So with them plundering her place, oh, they can do quite a lot. Finding some ancient, some like, not old, but they're still pretty old weapons of the Fallen, such as Lord of Wolves, Drake's Promise, Queensbreaker Bow, and so on and so on. With them finding these treasures, knowing what the Queensbreaker Bow is, well, he takes them and adds them to his armory. And as they have both finished off their final adversaries till they get to Fickrel, the Fanatic, Deku and Nana have a nice last conversation with the spider. Deku saying, "Spider, are you lending your troops for this?" It's like, well, can't have a partnership without mutual agreement. So, yes, you've been scratching my itches and have done a few more favors for me. I guess I can lend you some of my troops to assist. As he's like, finally scratch that itch of yours. Remember, Nana, you owe me. As then he leans back in his chair laughing, with them setting out for their goal. As they both land on the thing, with Deku having several spider tanks, everything. Even the spider's amazed at how much stuff Deku has. He may be a crime boss, like a low tier, like could be called a low tier Kel or something. Not even a Kel, actually, just a merchant. But he even says, I only have a few of those in my arsenal. And he says that Deku has like deployed 5. He knows that these things are ancient treasures, so yeah. And he sees Deku's weaponry and armor and looks over his troops, saying the exact same thing, thinking that these are much better than anything I've ever seen. Not backing off, but just keeping a watchful eye on Deku and his troop, and his house, saying that he is more well equipped than any other fallen. Did he get some golden age tech and not share with us? As then with Deku and Nana pushing through, jumping over the rocks. Deku still hasn't used his whole lightning stuff. He doesn't use that, unless he really has to. Eventually coming face to face with Fickrol after cutting and smashing down all his troops. When they finally reach Fickrol, Deku has a few words with him. He's like, Fickrol, seems you're still alive. With Fickrol, giving a few words to him. Last time I saw you, we almost killed you. But it seems you don't die so easily. It's like, indeed. But all your others died much quicker. He's like, I will raise them. Nothing has changed. Death is my... I think it's... death is my shield and sword. Yeah, death is my shield and sword. It's like, well, let's see if death will keep you alive after I cut off your head. With him rushing in to go fight him. Nana's like, wait, Deku. He comes rushing in and a force field is set up to keep Nana out. She's like, dang it. Pounding on it, Deku goes to melee with Fickrol, tossing him around. Because Fickrol is a few feet smaller than Deku, and Deku is a lot stronger. Tossing him around and throwing him into walls. Taking his nice little spear and stabbing him a few times, and actually tries to shoot lightning out of it. He does it once. Then it stops, and he tosses it away, go beat down on Fickrol. As then the shields stop, and then Fickrol manages to kick Deku barely enough to rush over, grab his spear, and blast him with it. Deku barely able to dodge. And then as he goes to shoot another blast, Deku charges up one really quickly and blasts another, countering his lightning strike. As then he just summons all the lightning he can and just pretty much Palpatines him. Just like, unlimited power. Yeah, you know. Eventually shocking Fickrol enough to where he just falls down. And I was saying, I didn't even get to do anything. He's like, doesn't matter. Come. Aldrin waits. As then they march into the thing and see the giant meatball that's about to eat Aldrin. They're like, I was not expecting that. Hmm. With Deku eventually getting everyone up and ready to go. Not Deku. They go and fight this Riven of 1,000 Voices, or the Eye of Riven, or whatever it is. Eventually separating it, getting its attention drawn between Deku and Nana, dodging back and forth and blasting away at this beast. Sliding and just blasting upward like pew, 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 Them eventually doing all the things that are required and defeat the Eye of 1,000 Voices. It tries to grab onto Deku at one point. In fact, it does, using its weird tentacles. Looking like a beholder or a Capra demon. Or Capra demon from Doom Eternal, I believe that's what they're called, a Capra demon. As they beat it down and Ultron spit out, Nana grabs the handgun of Ace of Spades, with Deku and them standing there with their guns pointed. Deku sees Ultron for what he is after hearing his mad ramblings. Goes to arrest him, pretty much. The ghost's like, this isn't right, he must be judged, you have no idea what he's done. Then Deku's like, enlighten us, Petra. What don't we know? He killed Cade. But we have him here, and now we can take him in just as easily. I know what would Cade do. Do you? As she tries to say that, Deku's like, none of us knows what Cade would do. Cade, in my mind, would probably make a few jokes, then shoot him. But we're here bickering. It is up to you, Nana. You have the last word. Have you seen my exotic? Not literally, Nana. I did find some others in the machinist holdings. With her... With her, then, as we hear, she does kill him. And with that, Deku returns home offering a reward. Nana saying, no. We did what we could. Goodbye, Deku. He's like, goodbye. I have other things to attend to. Stay safe, Petra. And may the Traveler protect you. With him evacuating all his teams out, and they did get quite a few things. Note that they probably have a few Scorn tanks now. Now, I'm not entirely sure how the tanks work, but I think they're either driven. Pretty sure they're driven. Or they're piloted by Shanks. So, for either one, Kaminari ends up implanting something that turns them to Deku's side. They just paint the Panther iconography again. But, I hope y'all have enjoyed this. And I hope y'all have a nice day, nice night, nice life. And we're going to be doing the Nameless King one after this. So, yay!